Good day. This is part 2 of using the Electrospense and changing variables and saving them to customer defaults. CoolTerm has been installed. The IVEX supplied RS485/422 USB to serial converter has already been installed and the drivers are working. So I'm going to assume that you've done that and CoolTerm is installed and it's now open. Upon opening it, it may give you a dialog box saying it can't connect to the COM port. If that happens, just try and cycle through it. And we want to get to this main screen you see here. I apologize for the lines. So first thing, let's get it set up and go to Options. And you should have a dialog box that pops up with just about every option you need for CoolTerm. First, it's going to start off with the serial port assignment. So be sure that you're connected to the port that your USB to serial device is. There may be multiple ports in this list, so be sure to choose the right one. The baud rate is 9600, the data bits is 8, parity is none, stop bits is 1. If the next three checkboxes here are checked, uncheck them. And initial line states when port opens, those radio buttons want to be set DTR off and RTS off. Then up to the top left here, we'll go to Terminal. We want to use line mode. Line mode enables us to put in the entire line, carriage return, which is the enter key, and then it will actually send the commands, as opposed to doing it character by character, which is raw mode. So line mode should be checked. Enter key emulation, we just need carriage return, so CR, and that should be all set there. Receive. This is the only one we're going to change here. Ignore receive signal errors. We want that to be checked. The reason we want that checked is sometimes if you power a serial device off while it's connected, it may break the connection, and then you'll have to reconnect if you power it on. This simply ignores the disconnect. It can be very useful for starting up certain serial devices that may give you a welcome screen or awaiting a command. Transmit, we can leave that, and miscellaneous, we can leave that unless you choose to automatically disconnect on close. I'm going to leave that just the way it is. We say OK, and you'll see at the bottom here it gives us the port, the settings for the port, and we're disconnected. I have everything plugged in. I have power to the Electrospense, so I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say connect. You'll notice we get a pop-up window here, and we now say we're connected with a timestamp. The dialog box is right here. So the first thing we can do to verify that we're connected, caps lock, EX space PH. That should give us a window of all the settings we can change and the possibility to list variables. If you want to list your variables, which is very useful to see what current setup you have, EX space P little v. That's going to give us our variables. Very useful to see. U0 is our rate. We have a rate of 1,000 steps per second. And another common one that may be changed is V0. In this case, we have 10 strokes, so that's our volume. So if I want to change the volume, for example, I will type V0 equals the number of strokes I want to do. So let's say 5 in this case. Enter. It is now set up to do 5 strokes, but it is not saved. It will revert back to the 10 or whatever the default is when you cycle the power on the Electrospense. So if we look at it now, EX space P little v, you'll notice V0 now equals 5. So we're all set there. S, like Sam, enter. It's now saved. So you've saved it into the software. EX space PH brings back our window, and you can see we're going to do this guy right here. EX space X8. EX space X8. So what we're doing is we're overwriting the customer defaults. So the next time they power up, everything that we've changed, be it V0 equals 5 or the rate, it's all going to be the new default upon power up. It prompts you for a password. 2238 is the password. Carriage return. Type CR, carriage return. Wait for prompt. So in this case, we just hit the enter key. and then Control-C to restart. If you have the trigger box with the power switch hooked up to the Electrospense, you want to cycle the power on that. Turn it off, wait 2 to 3 seconds, turn it back on. Then we can go EX space PH, verify we have connectivity, EX space P little v. All your defaults should be the way you had saved them now, and will continue to be that way from now on. EX space F1 will conduct a dispense. If you press the up button, that will bring you back through the commands you've previously typed. So if you want to do another dispense, you can do that. If you want to change the values, V0 equals 10. I'm back to 10 strokes until I cycle the power or save the defaults. And you should be all set. Now, if this is the COM port you're going to continue to use, if you remember to always plug your USB to serial device into the same port on the same machine that you use, you can go to File and Save as Default. So every time you open up CoolTerm, it's going to open to this port and it's going to be ready to go. Very useful, especially if this is your work machine that you're always going to be programming with. That's a quick tutorial on that. If you have any questions, feel free to call in tech support at IVEC or visit ivec.com. Thank you.